Hello? Remarkably, I think this might be working. It might be working. Oh dear. Right, can you guys all hear me okay to start off with? Let's make sure that you can hear me, that we're good, that we're ready. Are you ready? And most importantly, have you got your cuppa? Have you got your cup of tea? It's working. Oh, thanks. Good. I'm glad it's working. Well, I've got myself a nice cup of tea because that is my tipple of choice. And let me know what you've got as well. Let me know what cuppa you've chosen. I know I put a cup of coffee on the picture, and that was in honour of my Uncle Cliff starting up his coffee company. So I don't know if you saw it, but he's actually a sound engineer. And so with everything being cancelled, he set up a coffee company and is also supporting musicians. So every purchase has a donation to music charities, which is absolutely amazing. So I put it as a cup of coffee on the thing. So well done, Cliff. Well, let me first start off really by saying hello. And I really hope that you're doing all right. I really hope you're doing well. I just really wanted to have a nice cuppa, have a catch up, because we haven't spoken like this for a while, and I thought it'd be really nice to catch up. And I just wanted to check in with you really, because it's a bit of a strange world we're living in now, isn't it? It's an ever-changing world. And yeah, it's taken a bit of adjusting, I think. So it's nice to come on and acknowledge that and say hello and check in with you. So give me a thumbs up if you're feeling all right. And if you're happy today as well, because the idea of this is to have a nice, relaxing Friday evening. So I hope you're up for that as well. So today I have a few of my favourite songs that I've been looking forward to sharing with you. And a couple of them are in Chinese because you know that I love that so much. I love it. So a couple of them are in Chinese. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to talk to you a bit about the Chinese language as well, because I hope you find it as interesting as I do. Before I sing one of the songs, and I'll talk about singing in Chinese as well. So, Crispy's got an orange and cinnamon spice tea. That does sound good. David, yes, it is totally changing. You are completely right. And sparkling water, yeah, that's another good choice. I have milk and honey in my tea. That's my favourite thing to have in my tea. And David, I'm happy being here with you. You're so sweet, David. I'm happy being here with you. Thank you so much for coming and joining me. So before I get started, I'd just like to say thank you so much for replying to my emails and my social media posts. Thank you so much for choosing to come and spend your time with me. And I really hope that you're all doing well and you're all feeling good. So if you're ready, then give this a like. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do that. And I do have a virtual tip jar running tonight as well, which is in the description. So if you're able to support, then great. If not, don't worry. I'm just so happy to have you here with me. So thank you so much for choosing to come and spend your time with me. And I really hope that you'll stay vocal during this as well. Because obviously I can't see you or hear you. So if you want to put some words in the chat box, if you want to chat in there, or even just some emojis, that would be really great, just so I know that you can hear everything okay, and that you're feeling all right. And I'll probably ask you as we go on, just to make sure that you can hear the levels okay, because as you probably know, technology is not always my friend. So I might need help from you if you're going to help me, because this is like my first scheduled YouTube live, which is exciting and really scary at the same time. So I'll probably ask you as we go along if you can hear everything all right, so you can let me know. I'm really hoping at some point that I'll be able to get an external microphone set up. But I was chatting to Daisy Shoot about it, because she knows so much about sound stuff. And she was saying that if you've got an external mic set up, you've then got it going through an interface. But then because I don't play an instrument, I'd have to have my backing tracks being played on the computer. But then you need another app called iShowU to then get your sound in and the backing tracks in at the same time. And then in order to cope with that, you've then got to use an app called StreamYard. It's a confusing process. So it's going to take me a little while to set up. So what I'm doing now is I've got my laptop camera and my laptop microphone. So I really hope that it works okay. So you'll just have to let me know as we go on, just to make sure that it will work and it'll be okay. So I would really appreciate your help with that. That would be really fab. Well, I hope you like the music I've chosen. It's just songs that I either haven't sung before, I haven't sung for a while, so I thought it would be fun. So I really hope you enjoy the various songs, and I'm just so happy that you're here because I've missed you. So I think I'll get started. I think we're still waiting for a few people to join, but I'll get started on this one, and let's see if you guys can hear this okay. So I've got several things up on my computer, up and running while I'm doing this. So I'm going to start these things off, and hopefully you can hear it. Can you hear that all right? I'll just check that you can hear that. And then I'll start it again so I can actually start going. I'm getting some thumbs up, I think. Okay, this seems promising so far. I think we're all right. So what I'm going to do, hearing okay, good, yes, no problem. Thanks, Robert. Brilliant. Okay, thanks, Cliff. Brilliant. Okay, in which case I will go back to iTunes and start it again. What would I do without your small mouth, drawing me in and you kicking me out? Got my head spinning, no kidding, I can't pin you down. What's going on in that beautiful mind? I'm on your magical mystery ride, and I am so dizzy, don't know what hit me, but I'll be alright. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. I love your curves and all your pictures, perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I'm losing winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all of you. How many times do I have to tell you, even when you're crying, you're beautiful too. The world is beating you down, and I am around through every mood. You're my downfall, you're my muse, my worst distraction, my rhythm and blues. I can't stop singing, it's ringing in my head for you. My head's underwater, but I'm breathing fine. You're crazy and I'm out of my mind, 'cause all of me loves all of you. Love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose I'm winning, 'cause I give you all of me, and you give me all give me all of you. Cards on the table, we're both showing hearts. Risking it all, though it's hard. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. I love your curves and all your edges, all your perfect imperfections. Give your all to me, I'll give my all to you. You're my end and my beginning, even when I lose and win. 'Cause I give you all of me. You give me all of you. I give you all of me. And you give me all of you. Oh. I haven't actually sang that one before. That was one I was really looking forward to. So I hope you heard that okay, and I hope that the levels were all right. I was kind of trying to adjust them as it went through because the backing track was at different levels, but hopefully that was okay. Yeah, seems like it was all right. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. I'm glad it was all right. I'm glad the levels were okay. Like I said, you'll have to let me know as we go through, just to check that the levels are all right. So yeah, I haven't actually sang that one before. It's one I've been thinking about doing for a while, just because I loved it. And there's actually a memory that I've got that goes along with it. So quite a few years ago now, I'm not entirely sure how many years ago, I stepped in as a dep for my friend's wedding band. So, oh gosh, how long ago was this now? Might have been 7 or 8 years ago. I absolutely loved it. And there were so many great songs that I was able to sing with the wedding band. Lots of Motown and jazz standards, and I think we had a few rock songs in there as well. So it was really fun doing like lots of different stuff. And that was one of the songs. And we'd sung it during the one wedding party that we'd been to, and then we had a DJ set playing afterwards. And as we were packing up, everybody had left this wedding. It was a beautiful wedding. It was so lovely. Everybody had left, except for the bride and groom and a couple of other people who were walking around. And the very last people on the dance floor were the bride and groom, slow dancing to this song with nobody else there, just really so joyous in the love that they shared with each other and just so happy about that day. And so whenever I hear that song now, I think about that lovely couple on their wedding day that were dancing just when everybody had left, just themselves. And it was such a wonderful moment for them, and I'll always remember that. So I do like that song a lot, and it's nice when it's got a nice memory like that going along with it. Richard, can you do Broadway? I sing loads of Broadway musical numbers stuffs, songs, what they called. No, I do loads of stuff like that, like Phantom and Les Mis and loads of other songs like that as well, because they're fun. Broadway songs are fun. But yes, the next one that I've got for you, thankfully, I don't need a backing track for. So that saves me worrying about one element of this. That's good. 所以现在我要想一想我们的中国的朋友们在哪里，我们的台湾的朋友们在哪里。I'm just wondering if we've got any Chinese or Taiwanese or Hong Kongese people on, because this is my first Chinese song that I'd like to sing for you today. It's my favourite. I absolutely love this. It was one of the first Chinese songs that I learnt when I was at Nanjing. So for the second year of my study of Western classical music and Mandarin Chinese studies, I went to Nanjing University which is 2 hours inland from Shanghai. And I learnt this song because it's actually from the region. So can you tell us what the words mean? Yeah, the Chinese was just asking if there were any Chinese friends here, just in case we had a few Chinese friends with us, because this next song is a Chinese one. But yes, this is a traditional Chinese folk song that is native to the Jiangsu province where I was studying. I love this. I've sung it so many times all around the world, and I just love sharing it with people because it's beautiful. The lyrics are really lovely as well. So the lyrics are about somebody who's admiring the jasmine flower and saying how beautiful it is and how fragrant it is, and how they'd love to be able to just pick a few of the flowers to give to the people that they love. So it's a really lovely traditional Chinese folk song. And when this song was first sung and used to tell this story, it was designed to be sung completely a cappella. So I'm going to try and take this song back to its original roots for you now. And I'm going to take a sip of my tea. So talk among yourselves in the chat box for a minute. Yes, I'm going to try and take this back. John Harvey, Mo Li Hua, quite close. Mo Li, I'll type it in the thing for you now. So Mo Li Hua. There you go. That's the pinyin, the phonetics. I'm going to try and take this Mo Li Hua song back to its original roots for you and sing it all by myself, which is always scary, but I feel like this is because this is how this song is designed to be sung. I'm gonna try and do it my best. So this is Jasmine Flower, or Mo Li Hua. 好一朵美丽的茉莉花，好一朵美丽的茉莉花，芬芳美丽满枝桠，又香又白，人人夸。让我来将你摘下，送给情郎家。茉莉花呀，茉莉花，好一朵美丽的茉莉花。好一朵美丽的茉莉花，芬芳美丽满枝桠，又香又白，人人夸。让我来将你摘下，送给情郎家。茉莉花呀，茉莉花，茉莉花呀，茉莉花。I hope you can see why I liked it so much. It's a lovely oriental melody and the lyrics are really sweet. So I tried to show you there where you'd pick the flowers and give to the people that you love. So those are the lyrics there. And I really love that song. But yeah, I've got another Chinese song coming up for you later, which is another one that I haven't actually sung live before. I did it on a lockdown live for the first time. But yes, I'll tell you more about that later. Because I've got another song that I haven't ever sung live before. I'm really making live nerve-wracking for myself today, just singing lots of songs that I haven't sung before. And oh, the nerves are getting to my face. Look, I'm going the same colour as my top. Giddy aunt. It's not very useful, is it? I think I'll have another sip of tea. This song as well I think the reason why I haven't ever really sung it live is because it's one of those songs that just brings so much emotion that I end up feeling myself sort of welling up when it comes to sing it, and I really love it, but it's not quite professional to start crying in the middle of a song. So I'm going to try my best to be very professional about this and sing it all the way through without tearing up. But the track that I've found for it is it's a really beautiful track, but it does have quite a long instrumental in the middle. So I think we'll all just sway together with the instrumental. It's about 30-40 seconds long, so it does take a little while to get there, but I think if you're happy, we'll just sway together during the instrumental. And I'm so happy that I finally get to sing this. I'm glad I've decided to do it, even though it's nerve-wracking, but it's such a lovely song. It's by Eva Cassidy, and I think you'll all know it. For you, there'll be no crying. For you, the sun will be shining, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. To you, I would give the world. To you, I'd never be cold, 'cause I feel that when I'm with you, it's alright. I know it's right. And the songbirds keep singing like they know the score. And I love you, I love you, I love you like never before. Like never before. Like never before. I made it through. I made it. I'm not quite teary. Oh, I love that song so much. Oh, I'm so glad I sang that. I was a bit nervous. It's always nerve-wracking singing something for the first time. Oh, but yes. Oh, thank you, Edward. That's really nice of you to say that. Thank you. I'm so glad you guys are still chatting to me. This is really brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, John. Thank you, Chris. Hi, David. Yeah, it's a beautiful song. It's a really beautiful song. Honestly, don't read the comments before you start trying to sing along to that, because they make you cry themselves. Like, I had a few tears in my eyes earlier today when I was practicing. So now for something completely different. Very different. But before we get on to this next one, this is my next Chinese one. Do we have anybody else here with any kind of knowledge of Chinese? If you want to put your hands up. Put your hands up in the chat. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. I don't know if we've got anybody here who has any knowledge. And I'm not counting your local Chinese takeaway, although I'm sure that counts as some knowledge. I've got quite a lot of good knowledge there. But I thought I'd share with you some, I think they're interesting facts about Chinese, really. I love Chinese anyway. I find it fascinating. But you may or not already know that it's a tonal language. So you have 4 main tones in Chinese Mandarin. In Cantonese, there are a couple of different ones. But yes, in Mandarin, you have 4 main tones. So if I give you an example of these using ma, for example, ma, that's ma, 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 ma. And those are your 4 tones, and they mean something completely different, each one of those. And then just to make it even more complicated, you've got a 5th ma that doesn't have a tone, but it's a virtual question mark. So for example, if you were to go up at the end of your sentences in order to ask a question, when you go up at the end of your sentences, that actually changes the meaning of the sentence when you do it in Chinese, because then you're using all of the second tone, the going up tone. So they need a verbal question mark. So they say a statement and then they put a question mark on the end, a verbal question mark, which is ma. So yes, it's got 5 different meanings, and this does make it confusing, but I love the tones, because I really think that they make it so musical as a language. They make Chinese so musical. So I guess the best way of me showing and demonstrating that is that when we say 1 to 10 in English, we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah? But with Chinese, they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you see how that's got a tune? I love that. So when you're speaking in Chinese, it's still like you're singing in Chinese. And I think that's amazing. But I've actually prepared a little tongue twister poem to share with you that uses ma. So, are we ready? It's only a little poem. Mama qi ma, ma man, mama ma ma. Let me try that again. Gary, what I need? Oh, Gary, you are so sweet. Well, yeah, I need. I love you too. That's really sweet. So let me try that again for you. So it's Mama qi ma, ma man, mama ma ma. And so that means Mum's riding a horse. The horse is slow, so Mum hits the horse. Which it would be great if I could find a poem without animal cruelty in it to demonstrate ma, but because one of the meanings of ma, which is ma, means to strike something, that's just, it's one of those ones that has to be in the poem. So I'm obviously not condoning this. But yeah, Sarah, poor horse, I know, exactly. So I'm obviously not condoning this, especially being a vegetarian. Definitely not condoning it, but it just shows how the same sound of ma can have all those different meanings and be used in sentences like that. So a lot of the time with Chinese, we're depending on context to know what people are talking about. Because if there's a horse standing by, then you're guessing they're probably talking about that. If it's somebody's mum, you'd be hoping they wouldn't be calling her a horse. That'd be a I thought that was interesting to share with you. Now, luckily for me, when you sing in Chinese, you actually throw all of those tones completely out the window. Completely out the window. So thankfully that makes things a little bit easier for when you're singing, because obviously if you're singing a phrase in Chinese, you can't have the tones, otherwise you change all the meaning of the words, wouldn't you? So they throw the tones out the window and they rely even more on context. So for example, if you one of the Chinese songs I've got here on my YouTube channel is 我爱你中国 我爱你中国. And those are your tones that you've got there. You've got 我爱你中国. But then when you sing it, you have 我爱你中国. So you throw all of the tones out of the window. That is vastly complicated, says John. Yeah, I did not make life easy for myself choosing Chinese, John. You're completely right. It's great though, it's so interesting, I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tell you why I said this was very different to where we've come from. Because this is a cover of a Chinese song, but the original is so vastly different to what I'm going to sing for you. And as I said, I did do this in one of my lockdown lives. I was planning on doing far more during lockdown, but then I had my marketing course come in and it was so intense. I was swamped. The overwhelm was real. It really was. So yeah, I've got a few on my channel there to look at, and I did it for one of those, and I'm thinking about recording it because I just think when you can take a song and really make it your own, it's a really fun thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play you, where are we? Okay, I'm going to play you a bit of the original version. Are you ready? You hear that? I hope you were dancing along with me then. I really do. I hope you were dancing along. So it was a really, really popular song in China. It was huge. It was everywhere. You couldn't go anywhere without hearing that song. Incredibly cheesy pop song. But the lyrics, wow. Some of the lyrics are quite sweet. Others of them are like properly overly cheesy. Some of them are really cheesy. But some of them are quite sweet. So when I was working with Simon before all this COVID nonsense came in and we were all put on lockdown, we recorded some acoustic covers for my YouTube channel that you can see where you're on here. And this was one of the songs that we were going to record together, but then of course we were put into lockdown before we were able to get together. And so the whole COVID situation does make that quite a bit more tricky. But what we did is we recorded a backing track in the room that I could practice to. And so that's what I've got that I'm able to use. And I really hope that you like this version of it. So the song is called 小苹果, which means little apple, which is quite sweet. And I do really like it. I'm going to look at the comments before I head over to there. Crispy. You also got started with Chinese when you were younger, and that makes a big difference. Probably did help. So you're lucky, blessed to have found it when you did. I think the other thing that helps me with it is the musicality of it, which I really love. Chris Wyatt, as a teenager, I loved watching the martial arts films. They had lots of music like this, if memory is correct. Yeah, they had well, it depends which martial art film you're watching, I guess. There's quite a few with Jackie Chan that have got a bit more kind of pop music. But yeah, I love the martial art films as well. So much so that I recorded 月光爱人, which is Moonlight Lovers from the film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So that was on my debut album Shine, and I did in the studio we recorded a fully Chinese version and a fully English version, and then for the record we decided to mix and match and have some of the lyrics in English and some of them in Chinese, just to share it out. It was a nice way of doing it. But yes, the washing line song. Cliff. So Cliff in the chat box has just put the washing line song, and that's because it's washing line 雪在月光里. So, washing line sounds like washing line a bit. Oh, John, I like it when songs end up bilingual like that. Well, good, because I do a lot of that stuff, so that's lucky. That's lucky that you feel that way about it. Oh dear. So I've played you the original song, and I hope you enjoyed that. I really hope you're enjoying this so far. I'm feeling, this feels so right being here doing this. I haven't been able to sing properly for so long. And I know I'm doing like smaller relaxing things now because I'm only using the microphone on my laptop that can't cope with full-on opera. It can't cope with it. But I'm really loving this, and I'm so grateful that you guys are here with me, and I really hope you're enjoying it too. I love that you're chatting in the chat box as well, because this is so new to all of us, isn't it? This is really new to me, not having an audience, not being able to see or hear you. So I really appreciate you being here, and I hope you're liking it too. I really do. And if you are having a great time and you'd like to put a donation in the tip jar, the link is in the description, and that would just be so generous of you. But if you can't, absolutely no worries. I'm just so happy that you're here and you've chose to spend your time with me, so thank you. Sarah, when it is a bilingual song, how do you choose what words are in which language? That's a good question. I think normally the song kind of dictates it, because it depends on the translation, and then it also depends on the backing vocals and where they are, and then where the verses and middle eights and choruses, where they start and conclude. So a lot of the time it's dictated by the song really, and you do what kind of feels right when you're singing it. But for a song like Beautiful Force from Shine, for example, I had 我不也会去 in the middle eight, which means I don't want to go back. And it's talking about going back to a dark place. You don't want to go back to that place. You're moving forward. You're coming together. Somebody's brought you new laces to bring you together, and they're healing your broken heart. And now you're moving on to new places. So that's what Beautiful Force is about. I put up a video of me singing it live that John Harvey very kindly sent to me a little while ago. So you can have a look at that after this if you'd like. But yeah, with that one, I decided to put the Chinese lyrics in the middle eight underneath because I liked the sentiment of them. And then I also liked the percussive sound of those Chinese words as well. 我不要回去. 我不要回去. There's kind of a percussive nature to that. So it was a nice backing vocal to put in. And that's why I decided to put Chinese in there, because it just worked. So it really depends on the song and where it fits and what the translation is, because sometimes the translation can be more wordy than the language it was in originally, and then it doesn't quite fit in the melody properly. So it depends. But yeah, Sarah, I hope that answers your question all right. And okay, interesting. Yes, I will listen to that. Okay, brilliant, Sarah. So yeah, you can hear that on YouTube. There's the studio version, I believe, that Decca put up on the mary-jess Vivo channel. And then I've got the live version on my channel, so hopefully you can see that. Okay, so I played you the original version that was very pop, and we did a little dance. Well, I did. I did a little chair dance. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to play the backing track, and you'll need to let me know before I start singing if the levels are sort of okay. So I'm going to start that off. And then you can let me know. Can you hear that all right? Let me know, because I'll start it again to start singing. I just wanted to make sure you can kind of hear it, because I'm using a different program for this one, you see. Right, there we go. I will put it back to the beginning and then I'll wait and see if I've got some thumbs up. Sounds good. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, James. Thank you, Robert. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay. I will get it going again. So this is 小苹果, which is Little Apple, and it's originally by the Chopstick Brothers. 我种下一颗种子，终于长出了果实，渐渐是个伟大的字。摘下星星送给你，摘下月亮送给你，让太阳每天为你升起。变成蜡烛燃烧自己，只为照亮你。把我一切都献给你，只要你欢喜。你让我每个明天都变得有意义。生命虽短，爱你永远不离不弃。你是我的小呀小苹果，怎么爱你都不嫌多。红红的笑脸温暖我的心窝，点亮我生命的火。你是我的小呀小苹果，就像天边最美的云朵，春天又来到了，花儿开满山坡，种下希望就会收获。从不追的你讨厌，你的一切都喜欢，有你的每天都新鲜。有你阳光更灿烂，有你黑夜不黑暗。你是白云，我是蓝天。春天和你漫步在盛开的花丛间，夏天夜晚陪你一起看星星眨眼，秋天欢呼与你徜徉在金色麦田，冬天雪花飞舞有你更加温暖。你是我的小呀小苹果，怎么爱你都不嫌多。红红的笑脸温暖我的心窝，点亮我生命的火。你是我的小呀小苹果，就像天边最美的云朵，春天又来到了，花儿开满山坡，种下希望就会收获，种下希望就会收获。Okay, there we go. So I hope you heard that okay. As you can hear, it's quite different to the original. So that's why I've been thinking about recording it, because I always love putting my own spin on other songs, and just let me know if you like that idea. That would be really cool. That would be really helpful as well. Thanks for my roses, Gary. That's really sweet of you. I like those. And thank you, Holger. I'm glad you liked it. I think it's really nice when you can take a song that often loses the lyrics within it and bring the lyrics out a little bit more. Ah, thank you so much, Lewis. 我爱你的声音，谢谢. Thank you. He's put I love your voice in the chat box. Thank you. That's really nice of you. Yeah, because I find that sometimes a song's lyrics get lost in the song when there's a lot of other stuff going on. And I always thought that with Rainbows Since You've Been Gone, which I love. Oh, I love that song so much. I mean, it's got a key change, it's got 2 guitar solos, it's awesome. And I grew up with that kind of music, so it's one of my favorites. And yeah, I did a cover of it a little while ago, but I'd really love to record that one. I just love it. Because yeah, it's the original. Since you've been gone, a man in my head can't take it. Ba-na-na-na. It's just like proper rock song, isn't it? I love it. And then, so I've been thinking it'd be really cool, is because the lyrics are so lovely, it'd be nice to take it away from the original, no matter, like, even though I love it, and just let the lyrics shine a little bit more. So, for example, if I sing that same bit again, but in the more relaxed way that I'm envisaging. Since you've been gone, I'm out of my head, I can't take it. Something like that. Let me know what you think in the comments, because I'd really like to know. Let me know in the chat box what you're thinking. Holger, Mary Blackmore, yeah. I know. Yeah, exactly. Richard, you're back. Oh, good. I'm glad to see that. John, that would be very cool. Oh, good. I'm glad you agree. Sarah, John, David, yes. Oh, good. Okay, positive response. That's always nice. I'm glad you agree with me. Well, I really hope that you're enjoying this evening. And once again, I'm so happy that you're here spending your time with me. I feel really honoured. So thank you so much. I've prepared one last song for you, but just before I sing that one, I just want to hope that you've enjoyed this. It feels so great getting back to singing, because, you know, with all gigs being cancelled, it's just been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions and other things. All this going on, and I know that things are still really difficult and scary for many of us, with so much uncertainty and change going on in the world. So I really hope that you guys are doing okay, and it's just so lovely to come on in here and check in with you and say hello and speak to you. And Wayne Smith, when are you touring again? Who knows? Who knows? Because I know that there's been news recently about venues opening up again, but I wonder who's going to be comfortable to actually go to the venues. And then when you've got to be 2 meters apart from people within the venues, you then can't fit as many people in, which means that it's going to be difficult to make any money with the venue hire and that kind of thing. And it's really difficult to know about stuff like that. I think we're just going to have to wait and see. Because the other thing as well is are the venues still going to be there? Absolutely no idea. Many of them haven't been able to carry on. So right now, I don't feel like it's safe. And I would personally feel concerned, especially because a lot of the classical crossover audience, I believe I said this in my podcast with Grace Foley, a lot of the people who enjoy classical music tend to be older. I mean, I know we get quite a few youngins as well, but it's just not safe for people, our older friends out there at the moment. So I've got no idea, but hopefully soon. That's all I can say, really. We'll just have to wait and see. But I really hope that I can get out there again and sing with Joanna again, because obviously we had our Christmas at the Musicals tour that I absolutely loved. Oh gosh, I loved that so much with her. It was amazing. And then being able to go around the country and see you and sing to you and actually be able to see you and talk to you was so nice. So I'd love to be able to do that again really soon. So that would be great. Richard, how can we best support you during this pandemic? That's so nice of you to ask that. First and foremost, that's really kind of you. That's lovely to ask that question. I think the main thing that helps artists like me at this time is making sure that you're following them on all their social media. Making sure that if you want to buy music, you're buying it directly from the artist. Because if you're streaming it or you're buying it from Amazon or iTunes, we get so little of any money that's left. Everything else takes their cut first. So if you buy directly from the artist, that's the best way of doing it. If the artist has a Patreon account or if they have a tip jar, then donating is a very generous way of helping. Things like that. But if you're not able to help financially, because I know a lot of us are struggling right now, just making sure that, you know, you're supporting them by being on platforms, following them on all the social media that they're on, because when you're interacting with artists, not only are you giving them emotional support by letting them know that you're there and you still care for them, but by having likes on a YouTube video or subscribers on a YouTube channel, or likes on a Facebook page, it gives the artist social proof, so that when they're able to go back to venues after this, or when they're trying to do something after this and they need to prove to somebody that they've got an audience, they've actually got some figures there that prove what they're saying. So that kind of thing would be absolutely amazing. But that's so kind of you to ask that question. That is a really brilliant question, and thank you so much. I think that's probably the best way of supporting. I know I've been talking about this a lot in my podcasts, so I don't know if you've been able to tune in to any of the podcasts, but we have spoken about this because obviously I'm currently interviewing a lot of music people, so we're talking about all of this, and I've just recorded my next podcast, which is with Justine Balmer. Oh my gosh, it was brilliant talking to her. She was so amazing, and we were talking about the effects that COVID is having on our businesses. So look out for that. My podcasts go out every Tuesday at 6, so you'll be able to see it there. And yeah, I think that's the majority of things that would be really helpful. But yeah, check out the podcast as well, because then you're able to see other artists that you might really enjoy. Because all of these people that I've spoken to and I've interviewed, I love their music. They're so brilliant, and I asked them to be on the podcast because I love what they're doing, and so I really wanted to share what they're doing with you as well. So go and check those out. Andrew, would you do an open air drive-in concert? That would be fun. That would be fun. I'll look into that, because the problem with something like that is because it's outside, and you'd probably have a few people quite far away, you'd have to have a good PA set up. That costs quite a lot of money to organise, and then you don't know what the weather's going to be like. So you could organise this big thing, have it absolutely tip it down with rain, and then not be able to do it. It's just, so yeah, COVID and the great English weather, probably not very helpful there. But that would be a really cool thing to do. Chris White, any news on Patriot? Do you mean, let me know what you mean there, because I'm not entirely sure. Do you mean Patreon? Let me know about that. Brian, hello mary-jess, you don't look a day older than when I last saw you at the Burnley Mechanics with G4. Thanks for coming to see G4. Any chance of you coming back up here? Hopefully when this is over, I'll be able to organise a tour that goes to quite a few different places, because I just love to see you properly. I mean, this is great. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm just not quite used to, not being able to see you in person and have you talking back. But I love that you're talking to me in the chat box. Thank you so much. Patreon. Oh yeah, Patreon, Chris. Okay. Any news on Patreon? I've been thinking about it, but because I've got a pre-order coming up soon for my new release, that's probably all I can say right now. I'm thinking about how I can fit it in with that. But that's really kind of you to ask, because that would be a wonderful way to support me if you're able to. But yeah, I guess I should sing you this next song, because it goes along with what we're saying. Gosh, you're going to see La Traviata. Oh, brilliant. Sorry, I'm still looking at the chat box because I just love chatting to you. I feel like I shouldn't take up any more of your time, but I'm really enjoying this. It's just so nice to talk to you. Oh gosh, yeah, I'm so happy you're here. Well, I have taken up quite a lot of your time. It's nearly an hour now, and I'm just so grateful that you've decided to come and spend your time with me. So thank you so much. I'm so grateful, and I hope you're doing all right. I really hope you're okay. I've loved checking in with you, and let me know if you've enjoyed this as well. If you have, then let me know in the chat box. Please share it. Let me know if there's something that you'd like me to do again. That would be fantastic. I'd really appreciate that. It'd be nice to get your feedback. And it would be nice to talk to you again as well, because I've missed you. Right then, I've purposefully chosen this as my last song because things are difficult and scary at the moment, but there is still much beauty. There's so much beauty out there still that we can all enjoy. I've loved being out in the garden. I've loved taking Misty out for walks in the sunshine, hearing the birds singing beautifully. There are so many wonderful things still to appreciate, even though the world is still quite a scary place. So I just want to remind us all of that with this last song. But before I go, thank you so much again for choosing to spend your time with me. If you've enjoyed this and if you'd like to show your support by donating to my tip jar, then the link is in the description and I'd be so grateful for your support. But like I said, if you can't, I know that some of us are struggling financially at the moment, then don't worry about it. I'm just so happy that you're here and that we could spend time together. So thank you so much again for being here. And I just want us all to remember that even with everything that's going on, this is still a wonderful, wonderful world. So thank you so much for joining me. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day and dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow are so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of the people going by. I see friends shaking hands saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They will learn so much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, yes. Thank you so much again for joining me, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. So you go out there, you have a wonderful weekend, but even if you can't have a good one, you make somebody else's weekend wonderful, and then yours will be wonderful too. I love you.